Welcome to the first ever King of Cannabis YouTube video. My name is Jason and I am the King of Cannabis. Today's video, we're going to be talking about THC percentages and if they matter. First, I just want to say that these videos are intended for adults 21 and up. I am not a medical professional. I am a cannabis professional, and I am not promoting the use of cannabis. But if you decide you are 21 and up and you want to use cannabis, I am here to give you the best information to keep you well educated so that you can make the best decision for yourself when you go to the dispensary and you try to purchase some cannabis. All right, so first, does THC percentage matter? So that's a tricky question because there's a lot of different ways to consume cannabis. You have concentrates, you have cartridges, you have pre-rolls, and you have flower. The edibles, they're in milligrams. The THC percentage doesn't really matter in edibles. So we're gonna start off with flower. So does THC percentage matter when you're purchasing flower? No, it doesn't. Not at all. And you should not base your decision when you're going to purchase flower on THC percentage. And why doesn't it matter? It doesn't matter because in Colorado, where I live and work, there is a plus minus of 15 on any THC percentage number that you see. So if it's 28%, that means it could either be 13% or it could be 42% or 43%. And so you really can't go judging based off THC percentage. And the reason that there's a plus minus of 15 is because these grows only have to send one bud off of however many plants they have of the batch. So say there's 100 plants of green crack. I'm a sativa diva and that's my favorite strain, so that's the one I'm going to use. So there's 100 plants of green crack. All they have to do is pick the best bud off of any one of those 100 plants, send it off to get tested, and then all 100 plants get that same testing. So 28%. So you can never, I would say that in my opinion, in working in the industry and dispensaries, that 30% of people make the decision based off of THC percentage. And then I would say probably 50% make it off of price, and then 20 make it off of what I'm gonna get into right now. So you can never do that. And I always advise to never purchase your cannabis online, because if you're purchasing online, you're either purchasing based off of one of three things: the THC percentage, a picture, if they have a picture of it, or the strain name. Now, the strain name, you can't go by that because say you tried Tropicana cookies once in your life and it blew your socks off. Well, that was that grow and how they dried and cured it, and you're probably not going to find that batch again, and it's probably not going to blow your socks off again. Maybe it is, but you can't just go based off of a strain that you tried once and you liked, because you just don't know. And then the picture, I mean, yeah, picture is fine, but it doesn't really tell you much. Us in the industry, we say your nose knows. So if you smell a strain, I always say go and smell, see the strain, because you can see with your eyes too that if it's going to be good or not usually, but your nose will really tell you, because if you smell something and it blows you away and you're like, wow, that smells so good, then that's the one you should buy, because it's going to work with your body chemistry better. What makes us beautiful as humans is we're all different. So what may hit you hard may not hit me hard, and that's just because we're different. Our body chemistries are different. But if you smell something and your brain and your body loves it, that means it's probably gonna work really well with your body chemistry. If you smell something and you don't really like it, it's probably not gonna be very good to you, even if it's testing 30%. So flower, I would say no. I would say go in there, use your senses, your eyes, your nose, and then make a decision. Even if it's 15%, I say if it's the best smelling one, buy it. Because those terpenes in there are going to do something to your body. And I'm going to make a video in a little bit about terpenes and what terpenes are and what they do for you when it pertains to cannabis. But I'm just saying THC percentage does not matter in flower, and go smell the flower and then make your decision. All right, next we got pre-rolls. Does THC percentage matter when you're, thinking about buying a pre-roll? I would say yes. I would say yes, because it's the same kind of process when in Colorado when you're trying to get your pre-rolls out to the market. What you have to do is say you have a batch of 500 Golden Goat pre-rolls. All the company has to do is send one out of those 500 pre-rolls off to get tested, and then all 500 get the same testing. But in pre-rolls, a lot of companies use trim and shake. And now all that trim and shake is probably going to be testing around the same percent. I mean, are they all going to be testing 24% like the one joint gets sent off tested for? Probably not. But I would say that 24 probably wouldn't go much lower than 21, 22. And the high, it may go a little higher too. But if they're using raw flour, if they're using full flour and not trim and shake, they're using flour, then I would say it's the same thing as the flour. So you might want to ask your bud tender if it's trim and shake or if it's flour, because then you got to think about the plus minus of 15, because they're just grabbing nugs off a plant and then grinding it. So it's probably not gonna be close to that testing. They're all gonna be different, those 500. And so actually, I said yes. I would say it depends. It depends on if it's trim and shake or if it's raw flour. Next, we've got cartridges. Does a THC percentage matter when you're purchasing cartridges? Yes, it does, because that batch of oil is all pretty much going to test the same. There may be a little variance in there, but it's not going to be a plus minus of 15. It's going to be really not much at all, because they're making the same batch. It's all the same batch. So if you're going to buy cartridges, you can't really smell them. Some dispensaries will let you smell the package or open the package so you can smell inside, but some of them also add terpenes and they add smell and flavor to it too, so you can't really go off the smell unless it's just a raw oil. But yeah, THC percentage, yes, I would buy based off THC percentage in cartridges. And last, waxes or live resins, rosins, any kind of concentrates. Does THC percentage matter? I would say yes. Yeah, it's the same exact thing as the oil. Especially rosin, if you're buying rosin, they're not making big, huge batches of rosin, so they should all test about the same. And if you're buying wax, they are probably making huge vats of wax, but it's probably all going to test the same because it was gone through the same process. They're probably using kind of the same everything, flour, everything, and it's probably gonna, you take one piece, it's probably, there will be a variance, but it won't be too much of a variance. So I hope that gives you some perspective on THC in flower. Once again, thank you for clicking on the first ever video of King of Cannabis channel. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. All right. Until next video, just remember, positive thoughts equal positive results. I hope you always stay elevated.